What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the littlest of tangerine shows. I am your host, Big Drewski, here with old Casperoni, my co-host.
What up, what up, what up?
Oh, baby. That was rough. It was rough this weekend. If you have not already, click like, click subscribe.
My camera messed up? Oh,
Your camera's slightly, but oh no, there you go. You're back.
right. Weird.
So, how was your weekend, Casper?
Started off pretty good for the first half.
Until it wasn't.
That's all I got on that one.
We start off every show by talking about how our weekend went.
It's gonna be more than just starting off the show today. We're gonna be talking about our weekend all.
We are. So Saturday, me and Casperoni and old T Fitty, we decided to we finally got to grill out, which it was glorious. Casper threw some brisket on the smoker there, which was good. I've got at least probably, I don't even know, a pound or something in my fridge. It's pretty good. Threw some, you spatchcocked a chicken, which was phenomenal. Even your dog thought so because she jumped on the counter and ate, the remainder of it. Yeah, it was pretty fun. I mean, anytime you can just get together with the boys and just, kind of be dudes and have fun. I mean, it was awesome. I think we all just kind of like to get away. T-Fit, I got to, I guess, see what it was like to be T-Fitty for a day. But, it was fun. Maybe slightly too fun at times, but it was fun. I'm just going to give the people a brief snapshot of how fun it was. This was us, I don't know, maybe middle of the way through the first quarter or so. So we decided to throw on our shirts that we wore last year, and we've refused to move. Their asses have been sore for an hour.
I'm washing this underwear.
Their asses have been sore for an hour, but we refuse to move. I'm just glad I picked a chair, though.
Go Balls!
So, yeah. So it was fun until it wasn't. The Vols, which is the team that we like to cheer for, which we'll get into the breakdown, I guess, here in a minute.
Yeah.
But, it was great. We had a lot of fun. I had fun. I'm pretty sure your neighbors may or may not hate you now, but it was a blast. I thought so. Woke up.
The neighbors, because apparently they might be finding the show because I got excited and told them that we were internet famous. So I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, apparently Casper in his...
Please don't get me kicked out of here.
Casper out of,
much fun. Please forgive me.
Yeah, you were, giving shout outs to which was funny because the way it was looking at one point, I'm pretty sure that the entire neighborhood was probably going to be smoking cigars in your driveway, but it just didn't go that way.
Yeah.
But yes, to Casper's neighborhood, we're sorry. We had a TV going in the inside there, but we just decided to stay outside where the meat was smoking, and it was awesome. How was that morning wake up for you this morning?
Fantastic. Woke up feeling like $1 million.
Yeah. At one point, I switched over and started pounding water, so I curbed it a little bit. But yeah, this morning was slightly rough. But woke up feeling sprightly. I will say I definitely have seen a little bit of maturity between myself and old past Drewski there, because past Drewski probably wouldn't have been able to get out of bed this morning. But it was what it was. I'm gonna play a short snippet before we get into this, then we'll just, I don't even have the notes. I'm winging it kind of right now, but I'm going to play a little short snippet. This was kind of my initial reaction from the game, and then we're going to just kind of talk about it. Then I'm going to pull up some of these comments and stuff, but I'm going to use this video to kind of cue it up. We threw it away in the second half. It is what it is. I'm not gonna lie and tell y'all that it doesn't hurt or anything like that. It sucks being a Tennessee Vols fan, watching your team go up against Saban, who's never lost at home as a Bama coach, watching us throw it away in the second half. It sucks. And listen, I'm a hardcore Tennessee fan, no doubt about it. This is my game day overalls, but kudos to Bama, man. I mean, Saban's the GOAT for a reason. Y'all can talk about Kirby and all that crap all you want. Saban's the man. We all know it. Okay. He made adjustments, came out, smacked the Vols in the mouth in the second half. I could sit here and blame refs and all that, like Bama fans did last year. There was some crappy calls, but hey, at the end of the day, dude, you got to put points up on the board. Can't go into Bama, Tuscaloosa, not score at all in the second half. It just don't work. Proud of our boys and how they played in the first half. Still love my Vols no matter what. But at the end of the day, man, it's God first, family second. Tennessee Vols is a close third, okay? But, Bama fans, hey, you guys won at home. Maybe we'll get you next year. But it was a great game, at least for the first, 3.5 quarters. I'm just glad we kept it competitive. Would have at least liked to see us cover the spread, but hey, is what it is, baby. Congrats, Bama. Maybe we'll still finish strong, but in the meantime, hey, is what it is. No matter what, though, go Big Orange, go Vols, all day long, baby, all day, every day. I know my Vol for Lifes know what I'm talking about, but it is what it is. I'm going to go live regardless. Okay, so the only reason I played that video was to queue up. We'll go over some of the comments and stuff here in a minute, but yeah. So, but just to cap off the grill, we did find out Casper cannot throw 50 yards. There's a video floating around. I was going to play it on this, but had some technical difficulties. I guess put a clip up of Casper not being able to throw 50 yards, and then because he went through 24-pack himself yesterday, also may or may not have properly took a shotgun afterwards, but T Fitty did show up, by the way. That was awesome. Also just going ahead and clearing out some of the notes. The brisket I thought was really good. Definitely easily the best brisket on Emory Road, no question. For sure. T Fitty knocked it out on the wings, man. I got to give him credit. He did good on the wings, man.
Record, all he did was cook them. I prepped him and did the charcoal, and he
so far, I mean, every time he's ever cooked for me, that's what's happened. He showed up at Thanksgiving with a turkey. Showed up with Thanksgiving with a turkey, and then you cooked it.
Yeah, the wings are pretty good though. They're definitely better on charcoal than they are on gas grills.
Yeah, I mean he did great. Your neighbor kid friend there enjoyed them as well.
Did we get that kid's name? Because I don't remember.
I don't remember much of yesterday. I do remember.
You listen to this, and I again apologize for acting like a fool.
I do remember annoying the crap out of Casper all day because every dog I came in contact with, I went, Kitty.
What was that? Where did that even come from?
A buddy of mine at one of my previous employers used to do that, and it would just become a running joke between all of us, and it was just hilarious, and I just carried it on. Shout out to Roberto Tolliver. But no, that was I think it's hilarious to run up to a big dog and go Kitty. But so if you guys if you guys were, living under a rock and did not happen to catch what happened this weekend, the old Tennessee Vols did the Volsiest Vols thing that we could do. We went up against Bama. We went into halftime. It was 20-7. Bama did not put points on the board until the second quarter. The Vols just came out and shocked the heck out of us. We played like we did last year, but we played essentially the best that we could have played for a first half, which we'll dig into that here in a minute. But played awesome, dude. Bama started the game at like a 75% win chance. At one point, so at halftime, the Vols had a 76.6% win chance. They were up 20-7. Joe Milton and the boys was getting it done, laying it all out there. Me and Casper and T. Fitty were screaming our lungs off, which I went live at halftime. Got to talk to a lot of you guys. A lot of people were excited, which I did think it was funny. People were like, "Oh my God, you're so..." I'm like, "Bro, I go live every halftime, so shut it." We were pumped. The alcohol was flowing pretty good. And then the Vols came out and didn't put up a single point in the second half. Bama went on to outscore the Vols in the second half 27-0, getting the overall win at 34-20. That moves the Alabama Crimson Tide to 7-1 on the year. They are undefeated in the conference. The Vols, however, are 5-2, with 2 of those losses in conference play, leaving us at 2-2. I'll start off just by pointing to the video that I already played. A lot of Big Orange Nations upset about the play calling, or not the play calling, the refereeing. Rightfully so. There were some terrible calls. One of the ones that really stuck out to me was defensive delay of game, which I don't know that I personally have ever seen, but even in that play, it was like, what? Like, literally, they called it on Beasley, I think, and he was literally just standing there. And I think he was like waving.
He was clapping or something, wasn't he?
It's something super minor, and it's like,
Yeah.
what? A lot of people were talking. Apparently, I don't know if you've seen this, but apparently the head referee is like a real estate agent in Tuscaloosa. A lot of people were sharing his like profile and stuff around, but I guess he supposedly is like a real estate agent in Tuscaloosa. Here's my thing, guys. You can't blame the refs as a legitimate excuse without sounding ignorant. At the end of the day, yeah, dude, there were some absolutely terrible calls. Me, T. Fitty, Casper, we all reacted live to watching them. But at the end of the day, man, we had the same refs in the first and second half. It just, if you want to make a legitimate argument, I don't know that you can use the refs. I'd be curious to see what Casper says. But, at the end of the day, dude, we came out timid in the second half. And as Casper said, we were playing not to lose instead of just keeping our foot on the throttle.
Yeah, as far as the officiating goes, I'm going to pull the Josh Heupel and just have an awkward pause, and then we'll just move on to the next question. And then I'll say this. I don't think that you can ever make excuses and say that you lost the game because of officiating. And then I'll tell you, if you look at the box score of this game, you get confused. So I don't know. It is what it is. Unfortunately, we kind of both thought this was coming. It did not go the way I wanted it to go or thought it would go. I would rather have us scored in every quarter and lost by 14 than us, take a lead.
It made it bad because nobody really expected us to do much in this game, and then we come out and played phenomenal. And then I know I said at one point, but I even said, bro, like, why am I getting my hopes up right now? Like, this sucks, because now I'm like getting excited. Really the only critiques that I had, and I mean, I know me and you, T Fitty, talked about it a little bit, best I can remember, but my biggest thing was I thought we did everything essentially perfect. However, once we got down first and goal, I think we put the ball on the ground and run that sucker in with our running game. We got down there, pulled a Seattle Seahawks, started throwing the ball around, couldn't put Tuds up, and then ended up having to kick 2 field goals.
Yeah.
If we get, that's what that even that alone would have put us at what 34-28.
At least 8 more points in this game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was really, but that's just nitpicking as far as I'm concerned. Because at the end of the day, it's like, man, I was sitting there like, okay, let's keep putting some points up. We was doing good, but for those of you that didn't watch the game or maybe didn't watch it as closely, even in my drunken state, it was almost like they listened to our podcast, dude. We come out, Joe Milton was running the ball. We were running some read option. We were running the hurry up, which Joe Milton is, seems to be ridiculously comfortable in. And we were throwing the ball around and our guys were catching it and we were, just out there slinging it. And then all of a sudden it was like we come out in the second half, no more hurry up. Not, Joe wasn't really running the ball. I mean, he started there at the end, but it was just like, totally different team. I mean, I don't know what else to say as far as the, whatever, but what was some of the stuff that you've seen?
Don't ask me questions. Do you know how much of the second half I saw? You were there.
I mean, I know you're a lot
We
of
couldn't
years
run
in.
the ball as effectively as we needed to. This is our lowest game rushing yards, if I'm not mistaken. I think we only had like 133 yards. Milton was the leading rusher with 59 yards, which Milton rushing is good, but that's just not really what we needed. I think me and you both kind of you said
I don't
run the
know.
ball, right?
He was running the ball pretty effectively. I would have liked to have seen us establish the run game more as far as using our backs.
Well, that's
Yeah, we
what
had 200.
that the backs just did not get it done there. I
We
mean,
had 271 through the air, 133 on the
yeah.
ground. We actually outthrew them and just barely didn't outrun them. In games like that, man, there's times where you got to ground and pound regardless because that does wear the defense down. It looked like we come out gassed in the second half and they just looked like they were rejuvenated.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah,
Jalen Wright 11 carries for 22 yards. Who would have seen that coming in this game? A little disappointing there, but they just had him shut down. And I think going back to what you said, the line was going to be the key. We didn't get the running yards we needed to at the end of this game, and that's Bama won it.
yeah. Our defense did a great job first half. I mean, we pretty well kept them. We kept them at bay. The running game, we just never really got it rolling. I mean, like you said, Milton, 15 carries, 59 yards. Squirrel White was balling out. I don't know if they locked him up in the second half. Now, for the record, Haddon got hurt and then came back out later. I do think that possibly had us losing a little bit of momentum there. But Squirrel White, 10 catches, 111 yards, averaged 11 yards a catch, 1 touchdown. Caught an awesome down the field touchdown pass at one point. But it was crazy, dude. It was like we had 200 something yards in the first half. They had like 40 something, and then it was like we completely flip flopped in the second half. They were getting it done, and we wasn't. But so I want to get into some. We're not going to read all these or whatever, but I want to thank the 11,000 and something whatever people that seen this post.
Hell yeah.
We're going to get into some of the comments here. By the way, can you mark this on the notes?
Yeah.
But just because I want to give show some people some love. But the live was awesome, by the way. I don't remember, we had like, I don't know, 4,000 something people or something come through. A lot of people, I guess, expected me to not hop on. I'm going to hop on and talk to the peeps every Saturday, regardless.
Big Goose better than me. I wouldn't have got on there if I was him.
It hurts, man, but I got to be there for Big Orange Nation, man. There's a lot of people that are upset, hurt, and whatever. So I got to put some people at ease. Some people's on there trying to trash talk, but I just want to throw some of these out here. AA Ron says, "Go Vols! I'll forever bleed orange." Hell yeah! A lot of people said classy, and I got to give credit. There was a lot of Bama fans that reached out and basically said, "Hey, good game, whatever." Jennifer Hicks, yeah, we gave it away. Sucks, but it is what it is. Still Vol for life. From a Bama fan, you're all class, dude. Hard fought game. Roll Tide, yes, but respect to the Vols. Jeffrey says. Hillbilly says respect from dog fan, brother, God first, family second. Much respect. So you can see there's a lot of camaraderie. A lot of Bama fans saying, man, like, hey, it was an awesome game, hard fought game, glad it was competitive. There was some people, I was trying to see if I could find some. It was actually a lot of, hey, Roll Tide, but great game. You guys made it interesting. Know how hard that loss was last year. Pleasure talking to it. And of course, I can't find some of the ones where people were like, no. A lot of people fixated on me saying, "Oh yeah, Saban's never lost a hunt." I was being sarcastic, but there was some. So a big thread. So I said that we come out and just threw it all away, threw the game away. There's a lot of people saying, "No, Bama come in and took it." Look, anybody knows us knows we try to be subjective. In my opinion, though, humbly, I feel like we just threw that game away. No disrespect to Bama, but I really genuinely feel like it was more our fault for throwing it away than it was Bama just coming out and taking it. I'm sorry, I was trying to get a better.
Yeah. As far as that whole thing goes, like us giving it away or us taking it, there's one coaching call that I know I wasn't on your thing, but I'm assuming people are making about when we went for it on that 4th and 1 instead of punting the ball on our own 47. We had to go for that, man. If we're going to win that game, we had to go down and score right there because we knew if Bama got the ball back, they were going to take the lead, and that was going to be the end of it. So
this guy says, threw it away in the second half. Bama came out in the second half and had y'all's number. I disagree. Sorry, dude. Balls didn't throw it away. Bama just stepped it up. Roll Tide. I mean, just again being subjective, we completely threw that game away. I mean, we had it in the bag. And, they made some adjustments and stuff, but,
Hey, Saban is the halftime adjustment GOAT, and we're not arguing with that, but it doesn't matter, man. If you're up 13 at halftime, you have to at least score in the second half. If we came out and scored, 7-7 and still lost this game, I don't think I'd be complaining. But,
so
it is what it is.
KP Milton says, Joe Milton is awful, which, I mean, that's going to lead into the next thing. But yeah, I mean, the general consensus was some people said, like, here's another one, and of course it's all Bama fans, threw it away in the second half. Tennessee didn't do nothing in the second half, which I'm like, I mean, that's why, I'm saying we threw it all away. But general consensus was a lot of people said, that, hey, yeah, man, hey, that was an awesome game. It was, it was interesting. Y'all kept it competitive, blah, blah, blah. But the general consensus was, no, there wasn't, I couldn't find as many, but there was a lot of people blaming the refs and all that. I mean, I got a lot of that on the lives. Like we said, you can't really use that as an excuse, in my opinion, and sound credible, at least. But, a lot of people said, oh, man, I'm so glad it was competitive. That was an awesome game, which it was up to an extent. a lot of Vols fans, just said, hey, we threw it away. It is what it is. Some people were mad at Joe Milton. The biggest thing everybody was complaining about, though, was the refs. So moving on, talking about Joe Milton, which this isn't technically in the notes or whatever, but
I got a time.
Okay. Moving on to Joe Milton. For the record, I don't think that he played bad. There's a lot of people saying he played bad. I disagree with that. I think he played.
How can you say that?
There were some people saying he overthrew a guy in the end zone. He overthrew him by 30 yards. They were talking about some overthrows. Dude, yet again, our transfer, Dante Thornton. I seen yet another drop by him. I seen some drops. Yeah, he missed some throws, but guys, I know there's a lot of Milton haters out there, but he played great. 28-41, 271 yards, 2 touchdowns. His QBR 75.3. He was our leading rusher. This was not Joe Milton's fault.
Yeah. Can I add a little bit more to that stat line you just went through? I just want to go over these couple things. Okay, so 28 for 41, like you said. Okay, 41 pass attempts is his highest number of pass attempts on the year, which is interesting. But obviously, like we said just a little bit ago, we did not get our 200 yards of rushing that we kind of thought we needed to win this game.
Yeah, normally we're 50-50, right?
Listen, guys, he's 68%. That's his highest completion percentage of the year. I'm going back to the Florida game on stats I've got pulled up here. Since then, highest completion percentage. His passer rating was 139, best so far, and QBR at the 75, which is his best, other than the UTSA game. He did what he had to do, man. You can't look at his stats and blame Joe Milton, in my opinion, in this game.
If we copy and paste the first half to the second half, everybody'd be saying like, "Oh, this is what we've been waiting for," whatever. Joe Milton did have some comments after the game. I do want to read this. Just get it out there in Vols Nation or whatever while we're talking about Joe Milton. But he said after the games, certain guys. Hold on, sorry, I got an ad playing in my ear. Save a lot of money when you buy direct. He said certain guys wasn't doing their job, taking turns. I'll take full responsibility for that just because I'm the quarterback, but also I lead this team. He did mention that. Obviously, some vagueness there. A lot of guys upset, but, this one is not on Joe Milton. And I know everybody's been sitting back waiting to have something to point to. In some ways, I wish he would have sucked, but just because it would be like, I guess we could, move on from this, but he didn't. He played great. We finally ran the read option. We was working the hurry up. I would be curious, Casper, if there's any statisticians or whatever watching this, I'd be curious to see Milton's stats in the hurry up versus slowed down. But
I agree.
He played that for 2 years, man. He's comfortable in it. We don't run it.
First half.
Yeah, first half. I want to go back and watch the game, but it's too soon. But that being said,
with you on that. I was going to do the same thing.
I was going to, but I couldn't. But that being said, okay, everybody has at times like crapped on us for supporting Joe Milton, and we've really stuck it out at times for possible quote unquote career suicide. At this point, though, it is worth noting, okay, although I don't blame this loss on Joe Milton, I do think at this point we're not really playing for like an SEC championship. We're not playing for a national championship. So I'm not saying bench Milton, but I do think at this point you might as well get Nico worked in, right? I think that's what we both kind of talked about. But at this point, I mean, what do you got to lose, right? I mean,
Yes and no. This is what I've been going back and forth on a lot today. It's yes and no, man. This is Joe's team for the year.
it
He
is.
played bad in this game. This is a lot easier to sit here and say that, but I mean, no, we're not. We're not playing for an SEC championship game. But look, 10-2. I mean, 9-3. Like we're still playing for that. Working him in is okay. I don't personally. This is personal, and this is Casper's opinions. I don't know if Big Drewski's on pages. I don't want to see us come out and say, "Well, we're done for the year now. Nico's going to start." I don't want to see that. I think Milton should start, and if we want to try to rotate him in, split time, whatever. If Milton comes out and plays bad, maybe pull him. But I just don't think it's fair to Joe Milton and what he's done so far this year to just pull him, get ready for next year. A lot of
Yeah.
people have said, UConn game, maybe we start Nico just for a game to get him a start. I've heard that a couple times. I don't know if we've talked about that on here, but I've heard that a couple times. But I mean, I was ready to say it, but I can't you can't pull him, man. He's been too good to us so far.
Well, to clarify, I'm not saying bench Milton. I'm just saying I think at this point you got to work Nico in, even if it's for a play or two, maybe for a drive or two. Obviously, you would rather do that when you're up. But I think at this point you might as well draw something up, draw some trick plays up. I don't really know, but I think at this point, like I said, you gotta work something in there. But I mean, I'm not full on like, oh yeah, it's Nico Tom or anything like that. Like you said, I think Joe's still our guy. He's done a lot of good. He's a great human being, at least on the outside looking in. But yeah, I definitely think at this point you might as well work Nico in at least a little bit. But this is recap episode. We're not going to talk future. At this point, we would have maybe said, hey, what's the Vols playoff chances look like? Or what's their road to the SEC championship and all that. That's kind of out the window now.
Yeah. What's our best possible bowl game at this point? Chick-fil-A, maybe?
I mean, if we can finish out 9-3, 10-2, whatever. I mean, that's going to be stiff because that Florida loss really hurt us. But I mean, we can still make a good bowl game. Like we still got a lot to play for. We got recruits to play for that's coming in. There's a lot of people that was blaming this loss on Josh Heupel too, which I thought was interesting. The play calling was definitely not great. I do have to say, I think we might be missing old.
You can't deny it at this point.
I think we're missing Golish, dude.
Yeah. I think he helps our offense, and I think he would have made some adjustments in the second half to change our game plan a little bit, knowing that Saban was going to make changes at halftime. I just feel like we didn't make the right adjustments. Kind of, we need to find a way to get the ball on the ground. Didn't get that to happen in the second half. So yeah, I agree. I actually saw some people calling for a new one for next year already. So I don't know if that was in your comments as well or that was just mine. But.
No, I mean everybody's focusing on Heupel. To me, man, our offensive play calling's been kind of bad all year long, dude. And I tried to talk positive about our program, but I also try to point the blame where I feel like it's best fit. So I would definitely be curious to see what Big Orange Nation thinks about everything. But tough loss. We still got some games coming up. Kentucky night game. That one's, guys, we cannot overlook that game.
We got tough games. We got Missouri. We got Kentucky.
Kentucky at home night game. Mizzou sneaky good. They're I think still like 6-1 right now, 7-1.
Playing at Kentucky. Is that what you meant when you said at home?
Yeah, Kentucky home. Well, I meant Kentucky for them, but Kentucky night game on the road.
Yeah.
At Mizzou, which is sneaky good. I've said it all year. We've said it. They're sneaky good.
Mizzou can technically win the East right now. I mean,
technically, they
they beat
Georgia.
Georgia, I
Hey,
mean,
what?
if they beat Georgia,
If they beat Georgia and then we turn around and somehow
already,
beat
I don't
Georgia,
remember. They already played Georgia.
I
No, they play
think.
Georgia next week. So
Yeah,
big time games there. Yeah, they're off this week. And they play them next week. So
yeah,
I don't know, man. It's Mizzou is really a sneaky team here too. So,
yeah.
but yeah,
We're playing for pride.
Yeah.
We're definitely playing for pride. I mean, but we still got a lot to play for. We still got a lot to root for. We only slid down to 21 too. By the way, guys, we're still ranked 21st, so didn't slide out of the top 25. Still got recruits to play, but before y'all just start, burning crap in the middle of the road. Like, one thing that I do want to say, and I hope that this brings people peace, but man, like, at the end of the day, dude, one thing that I've learned over the last, and I mean, I've dedicated the last last 2 years of my life to Tennessee football, but like, guys, any day that you wake up on the right side of the dirt is still a good day. I always say God first, family second. Tennessee football is a close third, but like, don't let this crap ruin your year, man. I mean, unfortunately, last year we got spoiled. We massively overperformed. We were set at like what I think 7.5 was over under last year.
Like that.
On total wins, we end up winning 10 regular season. I mean, we massively outperformed. We got a taste of that. Now we're expecting, 10 wins every year. And the reality is we're still building a program, man. We got a still new-ish coach. We got new coordinators. So, before y'all go running around burning stuff in the middle of the road and everything, I mean, dude, there's a lot to live for. Okay. Life is still pretty great. As much as me and Casper and T Fitty were throwing stuff and pissed off and whatever, at the end of the game, it was still nice to get together, drink some beers with the boys, have a good time.
Living
Yeah,
the greatest country in the world. Hey,
I
look,
mean,
we should be thankful, man. We got to watch football, have a good time. We're not at war. Like you said, be happy. Be happy.
all of the war things a little questionable, but yeah, it's yeah, I mean, dude, like you said, greatest nation in the freaking world. I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, at the end of the day, it is just a game, and I'm just as much of a fanatic as anybody, but there's just, I've learned over the last couple years that, like, man, it sounds corny, we get crap for it, but there's always next year. That's Tennessee's favorite slogan. So, I mean, man, just, like I said, dude, life does go on. It is what it is. Let's continue to root for our team, support our team, and all that fun stuff. So, other than that, man, anything else you want to add to the game wrap up? I mean, I can run down through my notes and stuff, but
No, I mean, I don't have any game wrap up stuff. I think we covered that good enough. But just kind of say, look, we said 9-3 we'd be happy with. But what we did say is that we'd like to beat Alabama, Florida, or Georgia, one of those. We knew those were going to be the three biggest games of the year. We could still steal that one against Georgia.
we
can still steal that game against Georgia, and Ball Nation's got to show up, ball out, and we'll try to win that one at home. And hey, look, I think if we win that, this season's still a win for us. On my opinion, because I didn't think either of us thought we were going to win a natty coming in this year. So
gotta run the ball, gotta stick to that hurry up. Guys, Warren, if you're listening to this, you can't be dropping touchdowns, man. I mean, can't be dropping touchdowns that hit you in the hands. But we still. I mean, pros. I mean, the pros are. Hey, they showed us in the first half that we can run some offense, man. We just gotta. This is a team that's not used to winning, man. We just gotta learn how to finish them out. But I'm still a Vols fan. I'm still tried and true. My fandom is still here. It's go Vols, no matter what, all day, every day. I'm right there with y'all. I know you're hurting, but it is what it is, man. Let's finish strong.
Yep.
Speaking of finishing strong, weekly pick'ems. Old Papal came in first this week.
Again,
He's been silently on a tear. I had the worst week on multiple fronts than I've had in a long time. I think I only got 3 right, but that really didn't matter because we lost by 14 points to, Bama. But it's all good. So on the weekly pick'ems, are we going game by game here? Or, I mean,
No, I don't. I mean, I can go through them. I don't. We can call the winners off, but I don't think we need to break down these games. Do you?
Papal again went 7-3, man. That's 2 weak wins on his. I went 3-7. Casper went 5-5. Daver Down still holds the lead. However, he went 4-6. That's probably his worst
year for Daver Down by far.
Yeah, but Daver Down coming into this week was top 353 in America. Technically, the world.
Yeah, now like 1,000th, tied for 1,000th or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, who's seen that coming?
Yeah, tough one for him. But I mean, as far as the winners in the games go, we have Memphis, Ohio State, Minnesota. We can talk about that game because that's not going to be on our other show.
I should have put that as my lock of the week on the under, and I knew I should have, but I didn't. But
what'd you think about the punt return in that game?
I was too drunk to eat. I didn't even watch that one.
Okay, to me, that was definitely a fair catch, and calling it back was the right thing. For those of you that seen it, Oklahoma State gets the win. Toledo gets the win. UTSA got the win. Finally put some points on the board this year. My Auburn Tigers choked to Ole Miss. Came up close, lost by 7. Utah took on USC. See you, Caleb Williams. Miami gets the dub against Clemson in the game that should have been, and the Georgia State Panthers came through for you again. So hopefully we won't have to pick any of these junk teams next week. But,
by the way, speaking of punt returns, there's a lot of people asking what happened on that one play when we got called back to the 6-yard line. Apparently, they said that our other returner signaled fair catch, which is questionable on the Vols game, that is. That is questionable, but it doesn't matter who catches the ball. If either of them signal fair catch and then one guy catches it, you can't catch it and run out. There's a lot of people asking me about that one. Just want to make sure I cleared that up. Our lock of the week was one of the worst ones that we've done probably all year. We were pretty drunk anyways. Not when we did this, though. But me and Casper both missed ours. What up, Casper, man? What the crap, dude? I thought you said. No, I'm just kidding.
That's mine.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Casper had Tennessee keeping us 9.5. I had Houston versus Texas over 60.5. I didn't even see what the total score is. I'll look that up here in a minute.
For what? Houston, Texas?
Houston and Texas. And then our kicker hit, which was FSU versus Duke over 49.5, which is funny because that's the one I was kind of questioning.
Texas, but 31-24 Horns.
So that was what?
55 points.
55. That's close. I knew Houston was going to come out and hit some points, but yeah.
Getting hurt might have put the end on that one. I don't know if you saw that or not, but he got knocked out of the game. He decided to dive straight at the biggest defensive guy on the field and got his shoulder ripped apart. So
that's because he's a man.
Yeah, he's a man. Gonna be sitting on the sideline for a while, unfortunately.
Well, that's because he shaved his mullet. Just kidding. That's
wow.
That's twice he's gotten hurt now. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish me and Casper could have been a little bit more upbeat in this one, but it's hard. It's hard.
Hey, we're gonna put the boots on in the morning. We're gonna wake up. We're going back to work, just like the Vols. We're going back to work. We got to win and get at Kentucky next Saturday.
I'm a Tennessee Vols fan. I lost my lock of the week. I feel like there's something else that happened that I'm forgetting about. Casper can't throw the ball 50 yards. We found that out. Lost the Vols game after getting her hopes up, and then his Carolina Tar Heels came around and lost to Virginia.
Don't even go there.
Virginia. Virginia.
Glad I went to bed instead of watching that.
Yeah, that was bad. After we pissed off the neighborhood, you passed out, and
Yeah.
I made it home though. Which again, if you're gonna drink, don't drive, okay? Or at least make sure you're really good and sobered up. Be responsible. But Casper, that's all I have on this one, man. Big Orange Nation. I know y'all are hurting, but like Casper said, man, put them boots on and get her rocking and rolling tomorrow. Anything you want to say to the peeps?
Hey, I'm turning 30 this week, so y'all be sure to send us some presents to the show page or whatever, so we can have a great time. The only win I had, unfortunately, this weekend was drinking a case of beer, which apparently, you shouldn't be doing when you're about to turn 30. So yeah, that's the only one I got. The rest of them are all losses. It's been tough. I'm sorry that I've been depressed on this show. In the process of us recording this show, Jonathan Davenport just lost the national championship dirt racing as well. So it's been a rough weekend. But y'all have a good week.
It's been rough for old Casper. Feel free to send coupons his way, whatever you guys got. As far as the big Drewski peeps, man, y'all been awesome. You've been killing it. I don't even know how many. TikTok. Okay, I can talk about on this show real quick, but dude, I got hit with like the most, and I'm actually gonna make a note of this too because I'm gonna freaking probably do something with it. But I got hit with the most TikTokingest, freaking ban or not ban, but I got flagged for bullying again on TikTok. I don't, to my knowledge, it's just a warning. But dude, like I was on there and I was literally talking about like, hey boys, at the end of the day, man, life's a garden. You got to dig it. We got a lot to live for. Life is beautiful. I was going on this like, and all these people were like, saying like, oh, you're going to cry. You're going to cry. I'm like, dude, no, what are you talking about? Life's good. I got a hot wife upstairs, beautiful 4-year-old daughter. Got to hang out with my boys and drink beers all day. Like, dude, life is beautiful. And in the process that my phone pops up and says, you have been flagged for bullying on TikTok. And I was like, what? So I don't know, man. I don't know if people just are annoyed that I'm ridiculously positive no matter what.
People get offended by everything these
days. The only trolling that I did was like this one guy hopped on there and said Rocky Flop, and I was like, bro, you need new material, man. That stuff's so out of date. And then he said something about Bobby Hill couldn't get it done. I was like, dude, your jokes are from 2022, man. You gotta so I was like, here, I'm going to give you some options in the future so you can learn how to troll Vols fan. A good one would have been, oops, Bama scored again. Because it was 4 hours later. So, that would have been great. So I just started listing off like, so maybe go practice it in front of the mirror, bring it back to the group. And then, he just kept like, nah. And I was like, bro, like you're on middle school level trolling right now. Like you need to step it up. And he's like, oh yeah, you're going to cry. You're going to cry. And I'm like, I'm literally not though, man. Like I'm good. Are you good? Do you want to cry? Like I don't, and I guess that's bullying. I don't know. But in the world of TikTok, people can say whatever they want to you, but if you just respond back, I guess you get hit, get flagged. I don't know. It's insane. For those of you listening to this, I cannot stand TikTok. I hate it. But that's where my peeps are, so I try to be there. But TikTok sucks for the record. Yeah. So that's my TikTok rant. That's my TikTok rant for the day. I don't know if Casper, did you mean to do that?
No, my internet went out for a minute. I apologize.
You're good. But yeah, so for the record, TikTok sucks. Other than that, that's all I have. Casper, that's all you got. To my Vols fans out there in the world, baby, life will go on.
Amen.
That is hard to believe, but it will be good. We will bounce back no matter what, because we are the best team in college football. Maybe not, but at least in Tennessee. I freaking love you guys. Wish the best of you, and have a good rest of the week. Have a good Monday, baby. Big Drewski and Casper, we're out.
We're out. Bye.